Hi, my name is Alexi from Practice Results, helping practices do better online. And today I am looking at a business called Novo Dental Studio. Now, this business is located in Brisbane's West End, quite a good location, not far from the city. And overall, I think it's very important to start with the online presence, as people would, type that in. Every time a business name basically gets echoed, or there is a bit of a branding in place, that's the first thing that people typically search for. Now, if you look at it, obviously good that they have a good presence, 4.5 stars, can't keep everybody happy, that's understandable. 15 reviews, probably should get a few more. But yeah, there's a negative review right there. And look, negative reviews are quite a big problem for a lot of businesses, and you could either go with the idea of getting more positive reviews to dilute those. Obviously, having a mix of positive and negative reviews does help give people a realistic picture of what the business looks like. But at the same time, if reviews are quite service oriented or quite hateful, you can always dispute them. And while the Google team is not easy to work with, there are processes you can put in place in order to get those reviews removed. Anyway, let's have a look at the website. Now, this is the website, and I've been waiting for probably about 15 minutes to get a reply. I think that live chat is a great opportunity to engage with people, and we get a lot of people using this, but you need to make sure that you do have a process in place or an automation that actually does allow you to handle these leads, because the whole idea of live chat is to have a live prompt. So I've put hey in there, and there's been nothing in response. While it actually has a green dot, assuming that there's actually somebody monitoring this. But anyway, something that's an easy fix. Logo of this particular business, look, I won't comment on the branding. Branding is not really my strength, but I do recommend potentially looking at the brand depending on the goal of your business. There's obviously a lot of interesting images here with white text over it. Now, with my limited knowledge of design or UX for that particular matter, I don't think it's a very good practice. And overall, a lot of the time people put this in place because they don't know what else could go in there. Now, I would much rather have something around the business, its values, a new patient offer, potentially a lead doctor. There's many things you can put in place there. But I do like the fact that there is obviously a way to make an appointment here. There is a phone number in there. I would probably also recommend including an address there too. Now, if I click on booking an appointment, it takes me to a contact page. Bit of a no-no, because a lot of the time you really want to show your schedule. And if you do have a system, great. If you don't, I'd probably recommend inquiry message as opposed to a call to action of booking an appointment. Now, what really triggered, I guess, my attention is the whole convention for naming pages. And this is a standard thing that you may get with Wix websites sometimes. I find that this structure is really quite preventative when it comes to things like SEO, and you really might want to address that by naming your pages properly to help the SEO processes. And overall, if I look at the titles, it looks like they can be improved quite a fair bit. Someone's done some SEO title for the homepage, West End Dentist, Brisbane Dentist, and so on and so on. Now, just to comment on the whole Brisbane thing, while it'd be great to come up for that particular keyword in Brisbane, I think it's not very realistic. Well, first of all, Brisbane ranges from, Caboolture all the way down to Beenleigh, if you're familiar with the area. And most likely, if people do find you within the vicinity of that by searching for Dentist Brisbane, they won't be your customer. So I would much rather focus on the nearby suburbs like South Brisbane, for example, or Highgate Hill. And you can check the map to see what's nearby. And even better, there is actually a really good website called the Bureau of Statistics, which allows you to see the population numbers on these suburbs. And I would much rather focus on the right target market, because you can actually drill down and understand the demographics of those areas as well. But I won't go too far into that right now. Now, there's obviously information about, Welcome, the technology they use. Like I said in my previous video, I think technology is good, but a lot of the time it doesn't mean anything to the customer unless it's something that has had a lot of advertising itself, like Invisalign, for example. A lot of people understand Invisalign, and that obviously aligns, but, dense splice, Sirona, fast braces could potentially, need a little bit of explaining. Fast braces, I would imagine, is something in line with Invisalign. Payment methods, great. I think this should be at the top of the page. I think that's something that's definitely useful. And then information about dentists, I think that's also good as well. Now, if we look into the Instagram and the Facebook, well, If we look at Instagram, it looks like a really clean page and someone's actually gone the extra mile to do a little bit of branding about this. I would probably recommend transitioning that onto the website. So if they're doing it, head off to them. But overall, the last post was done 21 weeks ago. And for a lot of people who do use social media as the front of finding a business and obviously finding out more about it, I think that's a bit of an issue because it sort of feels like, hey, what's been happening? Have these guys abandoned it, or are they still in business? If we look into the Facebook, we've obviously got the latest post on the 3rd of April, and there's been a few posts in there, but very little engagement, if anything. So easiest thing to do is to sync your social media posting across all the platforms if you don't have the time. And look, while it's probably a simple and a non-ideal strategy, it's better than having something like this. And I would definitely recommend having higher quality images for the header as well. So this business does dentistry, fast braces, cosmetic dentistry, wisdom teeth, and implants. Great. Okay, so let's keep looking. In terms of the speed, this is a Wix website. It's taken a long time to load. Performance can really be improved. And yeah, this obviously gives you some ideas to how to improve. Mobile version, always room for improvement. And look, if you're doing social media or if you're advertising for anything immediate, I'd say 90% of your people will come from social media. So definitely something worth addressing. And overall, if we're going to look for Dentist West End, these guys come up second. Excellent. I think that's a really good sign. But there's obviously room for improvement, and organically, I can't really see these guys anywhere else. And I guess the linking structure and the meta tags and titles will explain that as well. Now, as for the business as well, it's there. It's got a lot of presences. I think that's a big check from me. And if we look at the lead dentist as well, I think it's good to sort of highlight specialties and so on, and make sure that the whole thing is very much consistent. So this is my quick overview of this website, and I guess way of identifying some gaps and room for improvement. I think businesses like these have got huge potential, and at the end of the day, it's about making sure that the consistency is there so that you do get your leads coming through, and then you're able to grow the practices. Because look, one thing is getting leads, the other thing is obviously getting your appointments and making sure those appointments show up, and then making sure that you can rebook those appointments. So there's a big sequence of events that needs to follow that, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. Anyway, my name is Alexei. As always, helping practices grow through better marketing and identifying gaps that are easy to fix.